In an age where the sun bled gold over the world, King Midas sought a legacy that would outlast the stars. He was a father driven by a love so fierce it bordered on madness, forging a kingdom with blood and iron. But power, like the shifting desert sands, has a way of slipping through even the strongest grip.
He believed that true security lay only in the accumulation of untouchable power.
His daughter, Zoe, was the pulse of his kingdom and the only light in his cold stone halls.
To Midas, she was the only thing the gods got right, a blooming flower in a desert of gray ambition. She knew nothing of gold or glory, only the scent of wet earth and the warmth of a summer breeze.
She was his conscience, the silent reminder of the humanity he was slowly trading away.
But shadows grew in the corners of his mind, whispering that even the greatest kings eventually turned to dust. Power was no longer enough. He craved a world where decay could never touch the things he loved. He spent his nights staring into the embers, dreaming of a wealth that would never tarnish. He began to pray to gods who do not listen with mercy, but with irony. He found the source of his obsession hidden in the bowels of the earth, where the air smells of ancient stone and forgotten secrets.
A bargain was struck in the suffocating dark, a gift of gold for a soul made of leaden ambition. The hermit's eyes held a pity that Midas was too blinded by greed to recognize. He did not hear the warning in the sudden, heavy silence that swallowed the cave.
He only felt the pull of a destiny that promised him everything, but warned of nothing. The power surged through his veins like liquid fire, searing his very spirit with a divine fever. The golden touch was no longer a dream, but a heavy reality. Every nerve in his body screamed with the ecstasy of a man who had finally conquered nature itself. He felt the weight of the world shift, bowing to his newly forged divinity. He was no longer just a king of men, but a master of the very elements. He was the weaver of wealth, the bringer of the dawn, the man with the touch of a god.
At first, it was a miracle that defied the laws of the heavens, a dream made manifest in the quiet of the dawn. Silk became sunlight under his hand, and common wood transformed into the heavy, unyielding wealth of empires.
Midas felt see. Midas felt like air among mortals. Midas, a weaver of riches who could mend the world.
But hunger is a primal force that no amount of gold can satisfy, a biological debt that cannot be paid in coin.
As his lips touched the bread, the soft grain turned into a cold, tooth-breaking slab of metal. Even the water, meant to sustain his life, became a frozen yellow stream that mocked his thirst. A king's immense wealth could not feed the hollow ache growing within his starving frame. He was surrounded by riches, yet he was the poorest man alive.
The garden died at his touch. Roses no longer smelled of life, but of cold, sterile metal. He was a prisoner in a palace of his own making, ruling a kingdom where nothing could breathe.
Then came Zoe, the only heartbeat let in his silent world. She ran to comfort the man who was killing everything he loved.
Father!
Midas pulled back in horror, his gift now a deadly curse. In a final act of love, she embraced him. The gold claimed the only thing that truly mattered. His daughter was gone, replaced by a cold, unyielding monument. The richest man in the world was now a beggar in a graveyard of his own making.
He touched her cheek, but found no warmth. Only the stinging bite of his own ambition.
He begged the gods to take it all back, to trade every ounce of gold for one breath of her lungs.
But the gods are often silent when we finally realize the true cost of our prayers.
Through the storm of his own vanity, he crawled back, not as a king, but as a broken beggar. Every step was a penance, a desperate attempt to undo the perfection he once craved.
Wash away the sin, the river whispered. Give the gold back to the earth, for it was never yours to keep.
The curse flowed away like stardust. For the first time, his hands felt light and truly his own.
As he touched her with clean hands, the gold shattered. The grey mask of death thawed into the glow of life.
The garden breathed once more. The miracle of life returned.
He held her not as a treasure to be guarded, but as a life to be cherished.
His tears were no longer gold, but salt and water. The humble markers of a human soul. Midas ruled a simpler kingdom of dust and sunlight. He found peace in the raw beauty of things that are allowed to die. He traded his crown for a gardener's shears, owning nothing but the air in his lungs and the love in his heart.
To be human is to be fragile and beautifully flawed.
The gold remains at the bottom of the river, a warning that true wealth is not what you keep, but what you are willing to let go.
The only thing that truly glitters is the love we are brave enough to lose.